Hey, Franks, it's Monday, May 10th, 2021. Coming up on the program today, Meade Skelton sits down for an in-depth interview where we touch upon allegations of racist music, his excessive enemas, sexual assault by demon women, and Meade takes your phone calls. All coming up today on a very special Distorted View.
The best to you from Kmart Radio. KMRT.
Don't wanna be fat no more. Just wanna fit through that door. Every time I see her face, I wanna shout hooray. I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna fit into my sweater and I won't be fat no more. I've got a new attitude and I've changed my way with food. It's hard to make it stick when you're really super thick. I've been down that road before and I've tried diets galore. I want a full plate of life and eating too. Don't wanna be fat no more. Just wanna fit through that door. Every time I see you, babe, you wanna shout hooray. Gonna be better. I'm gonna fit into my sweater and I won't be fat no more.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
The vagina is full of AIDS.
I'm a mommy. I'm a mommy. Ah.
Breathing in semen from the air does not get a woman pregnant. LOL, laugh out loud.
Meade, thank you so much for taking some time and talking to us today.
It's a pleasure.
No, it's not. You don't like me. It's okay. But that's all right. Look, we have major differences in opinions on everything, but I am kind of obsessed with you. I'm sure you've heard me talk about you on the show, but you're a fascinating creature.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask about this song that you recently recorded, the George Floyd song. What happened there?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I think a lot of people don't get my brand of humor. You see, I grew up in the 90s as a teenager, and one of my favorite shows was Mad TV, and I thought it'd be fun to do like a little, ditty like they do on Mad TV, where I just do a little song about, Black Lives Matter. And what happened was I was very upset about the trial, because I felt like Derek Chauvin was basically, we witnessed a public lynching, and I wanted to do something like, I was very angry about all this stuff. So I did a Black Lives Matter. I was pointing out the hypocrisy of Black Lives Matter, because the Black community has a problem with crime and violence and murder, and they need to address all these things. Of course, we all have these problems. So, but what happened was, I put up the song and it was up for a day or two, and I started getting these death threats and people sending me hate. They said they were going to behead me and all those things. So a family member suggested maybe it's a good idea if I remove the song. But my mother always told me that deep-seated hatred is the highest form of flattery. But I didn't feel like at the time I was safe, so I removed the song. And I feel like I should have written All Lives Matter. That was my second choice, but I guess it just didn't go over the way I hoped.
Do you understand why people were upset with the song, though?
Not really.
Well, I think part of the problem is, some of your lyrics were like Shanique was at the welfare line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shanique was standing in the welfare line. She's got her EBT card and she's doing fine. And your Black Lives Matter, when they go splatter, they're killing each other.
That's kind of offensive. The name Shaniqua is kind of like a stereotypical racist-y name, and the idea that she's going to a welfare line when the song is about sort of George Floyd being shot by a police officer. You're sort of mixing in a bunch of other racist tropes.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, really running about George Floyd in particular is mainly about Black Lives Matter, but those things, see, Shaniqua, those are all just terms of endearment. I think.
Oh, you were being flattering towards black people, like Tyrone, Shaniqua.
Yeah, you see, back in my day, this was called edgy humor. It wasn't. It's not race. I'm not a racist. Stereotypes, like, I'm sure there's a lot of stereotypes about white people. Like, anytime you disagree with someone, you get called a Karen. I think that's racist, but we're not allowed to complain about that. So I feel like there's a hypocrisy in these things.
Why do you think that the term Karen is only applied to white people?
Well, I've never heard it applied to black women, but I will tell you, working in retail, that black women are the most bossy, arrogant customers we have. Although I certainly don't have anything against them. It's just that I think that it's always against white women. They never, call black women this, and I see it more with the blacks.
What do they? So, what, you work in retail? So, what? Expand on that a little bit. How are the black women kind of bossy and mean towards the employees?
Oh, well, certainly not all of them, but this is not just my own experience. I mean, if you go to YouTube and you just look up angry customer, or you'll see this black woman throwing a register across the room because she can't get her chicken McNuggets. I think talk about your Karen. I think that would be more, worse than any.
Yeah. Well, I feature a lot of those type of people on the show because I find those clips kind of funny. And there are black people that do that, but there are white people that are just as crazy in a customer service setting or a retail setting. So I don't know if it's like a racial thing. So I go back to the song that you were singing, and it was in response to the George Floyd trial, right?
Well, that set it off. You see, I was a little upset. I feel like, he didn't get a fair trial, and I just don't like the Black Lives Matter. I feel like they are a terrorist group, and I feel like they need to address problems in these communities where, they're shooting each other. They have all these violent things. I just want to point out the hypocrisy again. And I think that people, if you ever watch Saturday Night Live or Mad TV, they probably do the same thing, but they wouldn't get death threats over it or anything.
I don't think they would record a song like yours. I think, you're a proud Southern boy, right? And I think that's part of the whole problem that people see is, you record this little parody song, but then they also see you talking about Confederate history, Confederate Pride Month, and it all sort of paints a picture of you just being racist.
Well, see, that's their ignorance. If they think it's racist to celebrate your heritage, I don't see anything racist. But anyway, I removed the song, and I don't feel it reflects me in a good light. I think that people misinterpret it as being racist when I'm not a racist. I'm just expressing my frustrations with this narrative that they're pushing in the media.
13% of the population and 50% of the crime. If you want me to bet on a black life today, I wouldn't spend a dime. And do black lives matter when they write bad checks? It doesn't matter anyway. The mainstream media.
Do you understand why some people might think you're racist? Because in a lot of your videos, you're like, I don't, you kind of quit your job because there were black people working. Was it your Amazon job?
Oh, no, it wasn't because of blacks. It was because they had a big sign that said Black Lives Matter.
Well, a lot of black people are going to support Black Lives Matter because black people tend to think that their lives matter. And
well, but a lot of blacks are waking up and they're saying, wait, we don't want communism. We don't want these things. And I think that Black Lives Matter is a Trojan horse for communism. And so I think that's the whole point.
Do you think a lot of black people are communists?
No, I think they're being misled by a communist color revolution, which is teaching them that they are the perpetual victims and other people are oppressors, and they're being bamboozled with all these lies. But I think a lot of the blacks are waking up. I think they're tired of it, and they're ready to step off that Democrat plantation. And I think they're ready to make choices for themselves.
Do you think that white people need to wake up the same way black people need to wake up?
Mm-hmm. I think white people are being blamed for all of the world's problems, and they need to wake up in terms of saying it's okay to be white. It's not a crime. It's not a sin. Did you know that we get the word slave from the Slavs, who were slaves for hundreds of years, and the Irish were slaves, and that narrative. Yeah, and they had the.
I mean, you do realize that black people were slaves here. Like, they do have kind of a bone to pick. You know what I mean? Like, the history of the United States is one of black people being slaves for a long period of time.
First slave owner in America was a black.
Okay, all right. So there was a black slave owner, but by and large, in the South, in the 1800s, 1700s, whatever, there were slaves. I mean, you do acknowledge this.
There were slaves, but there were also freed Negroes, and there are a lot of people that weren't slaves. And I think it's time.
See, there's a lot of buts in your. You have a problem just sort of you say like, yeah, but there were also a lot of free black people. But like right now here in the United States, there are technically no slaves. And is that a good thing?
Oh, of course. I'm not pro-slavery, but the problem is slavery goes on still today in Africa. But I will tell you in a sense that we're all slaves. I mean, we all have to go to work and we have to feed our families. So I think in the end, this narrative about, poor blacks were slaves, I think they're using that as a way to get this communist manifesto implemented in America.
Hey, who are the Bolsheviks? Can you explain the Bolsheviks to me?
Bolsheviks were the Russian communist revolutionaries that they resented God, they resented the aristocracy, they resented law and order, and they decided to go on a murder spree. And I've seen the movie Dr. Zhivago. In fact, it's very reminiscent of Gone with the Wind, because there was an attack on the South, just like there was an attack on the Russian aristocracy. I see the parallels in all of that, and I think it's very fascinating. You should watch Dr. Zhivago, and that will explain.
I'm not that gay. So there is a difference, though, between like real slavery and then, you're like, I'm slaving for the man, working a 9 to 5. By the way, are you still working a part-time job?
Yes, I work a part-time job, but I'm also a college student, and I plan to graduate soon. And
what's your major?
My major is general studies science major. I was a liberal arts major, but
wait a second. I'm sorry. I mean, your major is science, and you believe it. Do you believe in what they're teaching you?
Well, let's put it this way. You have to plug your nose.
So this is a no. You're saying no. You don't believe the teachings. You don't even have to finish that statement.
I think that these teachers are misguided. I spoke to the faculty about how wrong they are to be teaching this false science, but they told me that most schools will not teach intelligent design, even the Christian schools.
But that's not science, though. I think that's the problem. Like you should have majored in religious studies.
Well, but you still have to take biology courses in most of the curriculum. You still have to take the pseudoscience. So that's just part of life. You have to get through it.
What do you want to do when you graduate with your degree? Where do you want to work, or what type of job?
Well, I would like to work with Pat Robertson over at CBN.
Put that science degree to good use.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a creationist.
Oh, I know who Pat Robertson is.
Yeah, we agree on most things. He's a little bit liberal.
Are
we
you?
agree on
What?
most things.
Are you smoking weed right now?
I'm not going to fight for my country. I just want to smoke my weed, man.
Pat Robertson is liberal?
Well, lately he's become anti-Trump. He's turned his back on Donald Trump and said that he lost the election.
If you are against Donald Trump, let's say you're a Republican, but you don't agree with Donald Trump, does that automatically make you a liberal?
Well, I would say it makes you a rhino. I don't know about liberal, but I think that most Republicans, the Republican Party wasn't really conservative until Ronald Reagan. So they're going back to their Lincoln roots, their Lincolnite roots.
Yeah, but why is it? Why, like, not to get too political, because I do a stupid podcast. It's not really about politics, but like, why are the Republicans wrapped up with this one guy? It's all about Trump. It's Trump or nothing, right?
I think that they don't like Trump because he's draining the swamp. He's getting rid of the swamp creatures, and Republican and Democrat are full of very dishonest people.
What do you think about Matt Gaetz, though? That whole Matt Gaetz thing. He's a Republican, and isn't he like banging 17-year-olds and doing coke and all that sort of stuff?
Well, 17 is a young woman, and she's not a child, and I think that's part of that was
old enough to bleed, old enough to breed, right?
I think that is definitely was a character assassination on his part. But I think Matt Gaetz, I don't know. I don't really know I can trust him. I do like Ron DeSantis. He's my favorite.
Oh, he's a sharpshooter down there in Florida.
Yes, but I just want to come on the show and clarify that I am definitely not a white supremacist or a white nationalist, and people need to understand that just because I make a song against Black Lives Matter does not mean that I'm a Klan member or anything like that.
Right. I was doing some research before the interview, and I ran across some stuff about you. I've been following you for several years, but apparently, you've been very active online for a decade plus years. Is it true? And you can tell me if it is, if it isn't, if it's something you don't want to talk about, that you had an experience, a strange experience with a ghost or a demon? Care to elaborate?
Well, I've had many experiences with demons. Do you have a particular...
a demon lady
yes.
that visited you at night, I guess, and did something inappropriate to you?
Oh, yes, the old hag.
The old hag. Who is the old hag?
It's actually a strange phenomenon. It's happened. I'm not the only person who's experienced it, but basically, I was almost raped by a succubus or an incubus. I'm not sure what that is. See, appears as a beautiful woman, and I was entranced. And then she turned into an old hag, and she tried to suffocate me by sitting on my chest. And I rebuked it in the name of Jesus. It fled, but I believe this is a spirit of infirmity. Because that's why I suffer from chronic gastrointestinal ailments because of this demon lady.
Did this happen at night, like when you were asleep or in the middle of the night? Did she wake you up?
Yes, it happened in the middle of the night, and it just took my breath away. I felt breathless. The doctor says there's nothing wrong with my heart, or I have no medical issues. This was a demonic attack in my sleep.
Did she end up doing anything to you before you stopped her? Did you complete, so to speak?
She was mounted on me, and there was this all kinds of mixed emotions I can't describe.
Well, I can probably describe it for you. I mean, you're scared, first of all, because there's a demon on you. Second of all, it feels good. You know, this woman is on you doing things to your manhood. You want her to stop, but also you don't want her to stop. And you realize probably that, this is wrong because it's a demon and it's against God. And so ultimately you did the right thing, right? And you stopped her. I just wonder, it wasn't a dream though, right? It wasn't like you were having a wet dream like a 13-year-old boy would. This was like a real ghost situation.
No, this was no dream, and it happened to me more than one occasion. And it left me feeling very confused. These demons appear as very attractive women, and they come to you in your sleep, and they So this was definitely an attack.
Yeah, I mean, if this was a person who was alive, you could press charges on sexual assault or whatever. Unfortunately, it was a succubus, and this happened. I mean, how many times would you say this happened over the years?
Well, it started in my early 20s, and the last episode was probably a few years ago. But I will tell you also that people can teleport themselves into our rooms. There are people that, I've seen other demons.
Hey, real quick, I'm so sorry, Meade. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to get this right. You were in college. I forgot. I'm writing this down. You're a science major? General science. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on with the story about how you were raped by the succubus.
Yes, well, people have into witchcraft can teleport themselves into your vicinity, and I've seen many things that I believe were people using teleportation to enter my room and disturb my sleep. So the best way to get rid of these things is to rebuke them. And also you can use holy water. I have the Bible next to my bed. You should also avoid looking at anything like any kind of, things on the internet that might invite these things because...
Porn. You're talking about like saucy things or satanic things, right?
Well, simply just looking at a bikini model can invite these... demon women or whatever they are.
It wasn't like you were having a dream about a pretty girl and then you had a wet dream. It's so weird because let me ask you, and again, I apologize for getting a little graphic, but sometimes guys will clean out the pipes, so to speak, and they don't have these dreams because they have a clear mind afterwards, or not. It's not all fogged up by erotic thoughts. Do you ever beat the meat? Or is that very bad? Is that a bad thing to do as a Christian?
I think I know what you're referring to. I think that's a nasty habit. And I think that mostly these are things, you see, what happened was the certain groups of people promoted that this was healthy, that this was natural, but it isn't natural. It's
so you don't partake in that.
I do not do that. No, not on a regular basis, because these things that's unclean.
Right.
And
I understand. Absolutely.
Can you imagine? That's why I don't like shaking hands with people. You don't know where their hands have been.
That is so true. They could have sticky little hands.
I think actually the only thing I agree with, like, I'd rather do the elbow bump or fist bump instead, because even though I'm very Western, I always thought the idea of shaking someone's hand is kind of gross.
Yeah.
So
you mentioned your the gastrointestinal issues probably caused by the succubus. That's the other thing I read on the internet that was a little unsavory, and I wanted to touch upon the enema situation. Are you still partaking in those? Do you need to take them because of the gastrointestinal issues?
Well, enemas for me were a way of security. It's like if you're going to not be able to use the restroom, and you don't want to use a public restroom. But I try to avoid enemas use because it can really damage your natural flow. And I try to not do it. I was going to be in a TV show, and I got a big enema for that. And what I do is I use an enema, and then I use.
What's the difference between a regular, like a standard enema, and a big enema?
Well, this was on sale at Walgreens, so they gave you 2 enemas for the price of 1.
Oh.
So I got that, and I also got Imodium AD to plug myself up after, but I do not like using enemas. It's not pleasant. It's not fun. When I was 19 years old, I had to have a colonoscopy, and I had emotional scars from that. So I don't like using enemas.
Yeah.
But I really don't think it's appropriate to talk about those things.
Well, but the thing about it is you must have talked about it because it got on the internet. So you talked about it at some point, right?
I was showing people my emergency enema kit that I bring with me on trips in case.
I just have to stop here and say I love you. I love you, Meade. I absolutely am obsessed with you. You are the most interesting person I think I've ever talked to in my life.
Well, I don't think so. I'm pretty boring, and I think that most people. There's a lot of people like me who just are YouTubers, and that's what I like to do is share my life on YouTube.
Yeah, you're not just a YouTuber to me, Meade. Do you would you mind? Well, hold on a second. Let me just finish up with this enema talk here. So for a while you were doing the enemas, you backed off on those. Did you ever think that it was a little gay? Because I think gay guys do that to clean out before they start their, sex stuff. Were you ever concerned, like, oh, God, I'm doing butt stuff? That's not right.
I never made that connection, but no, I never thought it was that at all.
I just asked that because there was this whole thread online recently of some guys that wouldn't even wipe. We used toilet paper after they were done because they didn't want to touch that area. And I just thought that was a little strange.
No, these are natural God-given gifts. Our ability to eliminate waste is a God-given gift, and we should be thankful.
Right.
And you shouldn't be embarrassed about it because it's just part of our, the way our bodies work. But I think the idea that you would use an enema as a sexual thing is pretty gross, and I don't understand the connection.
Well, I think the connection is like, all right, if you're a guy and you're gonna be with another guy and you're gonna put your manhood in that area, you want it to be clean, and so the people would do the enema and clean up down there. Oh, I guess.
Okay.
Do you have any gay or lesbian friends?
No, I don't know any gays personally. There is a lesbian that was seems to be nice, a fan of mine, that she does music too. She doesn't push it, she doesn't push her lifestyle on me, so I don't mind that as long as she keeps that to herself. So I don't really know any of the gays.
Yeah. The other thing that I read online, and again, if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine, is for a while you were wearing corsets.
Mm-hmm.
What was the purpose? Was that just to cinch things up and tighten up the bod?
Well, they call them corsets, but these are waist trainers, and men and women in the bodybuilding industry are using them to achieve more of an aesthetic. So that was something I was doing, but I have a naturally small waist anyway. I'm kind of built, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has that sort of similar build as I do.
I think someone wants to chat and say hi to you real quick. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hello, Insanovich, Vladimir Putin.
Vlad,
can you hear me?
Yes, you are on with Meade.
Okay, Meade. Well, I have spoken with Meade. I've known Meade for a while now. We've had some good conversations on Discord and in some other, other forums. Meade, I've taken some time with you, trying to come at you with a very gentle approach. I think you're not a bad person. You think some of your racism, you consider it to be a quaint thing. You think that using the word Negro, saying negress, is a quaint Southernism.
Yeah, it's quaint.
They are not. That's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you've spoken to me in the past that you do some of this to get attention. I don't think it's the right type of attention, right?
Well, can I just say, this is Vlad, and he sounds like a Bolshevik to me, doesn't he, Meade?
No, I wouldn't say that. I know what he's saying. I do not like the term African American or Negro is just Spanish for black. It's what they, there's a united.
No one in 2021, Meade. No one says Negro or Negress except for racist people. You see online, sometimes you'll say some very, very racist things. That Black Lives Matter song you released, the picture that you chose was George Floyd pointing a gun at a pregnant woman's belly and him saying, "I can breathe." That was the placard that you chose for that. That is racist, right?
Okay.
So
no, how is it racist?
The first thing that you need to do, the first thing that you need to do, Meade, is look in yourself here. And we've all tried this before, and I think that Meade tries to come off as a very funny, Southern, quaint. You know what you're doing, and it's bullshit. Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, listen. Meade is funny. Whole thing. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, frankly, Meade, you need to grow up. You're 40, 41, 42 years old. It's time to put these things aside. Okay? That's all I have to say. I think you're a good person, and I enjoy your content. But this is something that you need to confront, and you need to get past. That shit's not right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Love you, Tim.
Thank you, Vlad. That was Vlad. You spoke to Vlad in the chat, I think, a few times, and he says he loves you, but you got to grow up with your racist talk. Okay. I don't know. It sounds like a communist to me.
Well, I just want to respond really quick. What I posted is a meme, and that wasn't, I didn't create that. That was something on the internet, but it's not racist. The George Floyd pointed a gun at a pregnant black woman.
Oh, hey there, Tim. Meade, how's it going?
Oh, well, we've got another call. I'm so sorry, Meade. We wanted to get to you. Yeah, Lorna. Lorna, where are you calling from, honey?
I'm from Canada.
Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Listen, Meade, it's really cold up here in Canada, and I hear that you don't like our prime minister. What do you have to say about that?
I'm not familiar with the Prime Minister of Canada. I would like to visit Canada someday. I love the Canadian Rockies and would love to go up there and do a show. One of my favorite shows is this TV show called Heartland, which is full of family values. And Canadians seem very friendly. They seem like very welcoming people. So I would like to visit one day.
Oh, hey, Meade, you and Great Big Pete should do a big collaboration together, because he would really like to do some collaboration with your music. He says that you sound a bit like Billy Joel and a bit like Yankee Doodle Dandy music.
It's a bit of
but in a good way.
Yeah.
It's endearing.
That's nice.
My real question for you, Meade, is: are you just the troll here? Like, are you trolling everybody, or are we getting the real deal Meade? Just want to know. That's all.
No, I'm not a troll. I'm a very genuine person, and all of this is me. The accusations that people are putting against me are, I think, misconceptions. And yes, I have used language but some of this is just, that people do this on the internet. So I'm not really a troll. I'm just a person expressing myself.
All right. Fair enough. Got another call coming in. Who's this?
Hi, Meade. This is Cat Lady. I've talked to you before. I'm a big fan. I drew you a caricature. Also, I was looking through your videos, and I have two questions about. I have one question about a song, Kate. Is that based on a true story? And then also, I saw that you made a video for The Voice. Was that how successful did that go? Like, did you hear back from anybody with that or anything? Because I was like dying to know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those are good questions. The Voice nothing came of that, but the song Kate is based on a true story, and it happened many years ago when I was younger, and I decided to write a song about it, and so sort of my apology to this girl named Kate. So yes, that's a true story. Yes.
But then one day I got carried away, and I guess I lost my decorum, saying things on a public forum. I know I was wrong back then. Maybe she can forgive me. We can still be friends. Oh, Kate, I still think you're great, and I'm praying it's not too late. I know I was wrong to say we were together. Can you ever forgive me? Never say never. Oh, Kate, give me a chance.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. You're very brave to sing about some of this stuff. Also, I think my favorite song of yours is Anti-White. It's not that I love the lyrics, but it's because it's just so fucking catchy. So, great job.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. Your most popular song is probably Sweet Tea, right?
Yeah, Sweet Tea is my number one.
When did you record that?
That was recorded in years ago, actually back in 2009, but it was released in 2012 on my LP album called Meade Music.
Oh, okay. And where can people find your music? Is it available, on like CD Baby?
Yes, it's available through eBay.
eBay?
Mm-hmm.
eBay? Like the auction site?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think this will be the last call.
Hello.
Yes, you're on with Meade.
Hey, Meade.
Hi.
This is Greg from Austin. We've had discussions on the Discord before, and I wanted to ask you something. I hope I never really upset you when we had that discussion when I called you a Northerner.
Whoa.
The issue is, you see, like I've told you, you do live north of me.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes you a Northerner, right?
Is that how that works?
No, not exactly, but I've never been. I know Austin is a very unusual kind of place, and actually,
no, you're right. Austin's unusual. I'll give you that. I don't live in Austin anymore. I grew up in Austin.
Mm-hmm. No, I've met Texans before, and a lot of them have said the same thing. But I, in my honest opinion, I don't consider Texas the South either. So it's not really important.
I don't think that Texas is the South. just in my opinion, you're a Northerner. You live north of the Red River. I did have one other question though, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
You shared your 23andMe DNA results with us on the Discord, and I'm just wondering why you don't want to acknowledge your Jewish ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something against Jews?
What? I didn't even know. Wait a second. So what percentage Jew is Meade?
Well, according to his results, he's like 5.5% Ashkenazi Jew.
Mm-hmm.
That is substantial.
And that's substantial. Yeah, a lot of the victims of the Holocaust were Ashkenazi Jews. So I don't know.
Well, there's several things with that. First of all, my family tree is well documented, my lineage and everything. There's no Jews on there. I think that 23andMe is very not precise. I think it's a general estimate. I would accept, that if I can find the ancestor, but so far I've not found any evidence. Also, the Ashkenazi Jews were not real Jews; they were converts. They were European converts.
Fake Jews.
So I'm not a Jew. I'm a Christian.
Well, I mean, there's the Jewish religion, and then there's like the Jewish, family. And I mean, you may not be a practicing Jew, but you have Jewish ancestry.
If 5%, 23andMe is really for entertainment purposes, but my ancestry is mostly British and German and Irish and Native American.
Well, okay, that was my only question. I just wanted to know why you were denying it.
Well, I'm not denying it because I don't have it. I don't have any Jewish ancestry.
Meade, do you believe, I mean, when it comes to the Jews, you do believe like the Holocaust happened, right?
I believe there was something that happened. I do think that I think people should be allowed to question the official narrative because I think, there's so many variables. But yes, I do think there was an event.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call. I think it's about time to wrap things up. I know Meade probably wants to get going, but Meade, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on the program. And you lived up to your end of the bargain, I guess. Thank you so much for sticking to your word and agreeing to come on and following through. Do you want to mention where people can follow you online?
Well, it's, pretty obvious now, but they can follow me through my YouTube channel. That's Monument Floyd, unfortunately. And also I have a music channel called The Singer account, and they can follow me there. And I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the callers. I know we don't always agree on everything, but thank you to the people that called in.
Yeah, of course. One last call. Who's this? Real quick.
Oh, hey, just trying to say hey. I appreciate the patience. I know it's taken a while. Wanted to
talk to me. Yes, go talk to me real quick.
Get right to it.
Yes.
So Tyler calling in. Hey, Meade, Tyler. I was your first Patreon supporter, and I just wanted to tell you, man to man, person to person, I love everything you're doing. Fuck all these haters, and I love you to death. If I had the financial means, I would have supported you until the end of days. And I'm grateful for everything you do. And don't listen to any of it. Be you forever, buddy.
That's right. Let your haters be your motivators. So that's a great last word from a supporter of Meade. Meade, do you still have your Patreon account?
Oh, I do, but I'm down to one Patreon. So
we'll try to fix that. I will
come help me out. That'd be great.
Yeah, I will link that on our show notes when I post this as a podcast. All right, Meade, thank you so much for doing this, and don't be a stranger. Pop in the Discord, and have a good night.
Okay, good night. Bye.
Bye. You can say a lot of things about Meade. He's racist, homophobic. He has poor portion control when it comes to food. I don't know what you want to say about Meade, but they're probably valid opinions. Despite it all, am I crazy or is he just a likable guy? I don't know. I love talking to him. Love hearing what he has to say. Even though he's dead wrong most of the time, I can't get enough of him. Thank you so much to Meade Skelton for coming on the program. Check out some of his links on the show notes today. Normal episodes of Distorted View Daily return tomorrow. Of course, it's going to be a Sideshow exclusive one, so if you're not yet a member, sign up, superfreaksideshow.com. Otherwise, I will see you back on Wednesday. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody!
I was showing people my emergency enema kit.
This has been another excellent podcast from the Scribe Media Group. Learn more at scribe.net.